So welcome to a bedtime yoga and meditation. The practice will probably be about 20 minutes, 30 minutes long-ish. And we'll just be going through some breathing, some gentle yoga flow, movement, and then a meditation. So hopefully that will be something that will be nice for you just before bed. So we'll begin. So if you just want to get yourself into a comfortable seated position, and if you haven't, oh, here comes Guinness. And if you haven't done your breathing today, obviously this is a good opportunity to do your breathing practice. And so if you just want to either close your eyes or cast your gaze down, whatever's most comfortable for you. And just taking some time now just to settle into the present moment. So taking your attention at first to the points of contact with the ground, the chair. Just becoming really aware of where you're seated right now and that connection to the ground. Thinking about support that's always there holding you up. And then just using your awareness to scan around your body and just notice how your body feels today. Whether there are any parts of your body that are calling for more of your attention. Whether there are parts of your body that generally don't notice until you take the time to place your awareness there. So just noticing, not making any judgments about how they feel or in a good or a bad sense, just noticing. And if there's anywhere that is perhaps drawing your attention more, just spending a bit of time with that feeling. And so then moving from our connection to the ground and our connection to the body onto our connection to the breath. And as we did in the breathing practice, just beginning by noticing at first how your breath is today, so not doing anything to change it. And then as you settle in, and if it feels comfortable for you, and when it feels comfortable for you, just beginning to deepen your breath slightly. But try to remove any tension, so not a big deepening of your breath, just a gentle easing of it. And as we deepen your breath, if it feels okay, then maybe just moving to that slightly longer exhale. Just spending a few minutes with this practice. I'm not sure if you can hear the rain outside on the video or not, but it's actually quite a relaxing noise. A couple moments more. And then when you're ready, just returning to your breath as it is, as it flows naturally in and out. And then we're just going to start by taking a couple of stretches for our neck and shoulders. Because normally at the end of the day is when we're probably at our most tense, if we've been sat at a desk all day or just generally hunched over. So if you would like to start by bringing your head over to tilt it slightly over to one side and come to rest your head in your hand. And then what I want you to do is really almost sort of push down with this. So push down into your hand so you start to sort of feel a stretch in this side. And then very slowly begin to push but resist against that push. Having no resistance on the way down, and then again get that sort of tension on, so begin by pushing it down, stretching it out, and then pushing back up. Do that a couple more times. So again, just dropping down, letting your head sort of hang in a way, then using your hand to support it, but almost opposing, so as if you're trying to stop your hand pushing your head up. And then again. And then we're going to take our opposite hand over. And this time, just stretch your head to the other side so that you can feel the stretch down that side of the neck. And then just do almost the opposite. So your head is again just trying to push up against your hand, and you should feel a really nice stretch all the way through your neck and shoulder. So again, getting that into that position, getting the tension first, so that sort of push up and your head resisting, your hand resisting, and then as you pull up, push up, you should feel a really nice stretch down the side of your neck. And do the same a couple more times. So getting that tension on to resist. And then you should feel straight away that you've stretched that side of your neck. And then we'll come on to the other side. So dropping your head down to the side you had, but this time using your other hand. I'm just going to push and resist, resist. And then the resistance. And then push your head to the right. And then use your hand to resist. So both you're almost resisting your hand lifting your head. And taking your hand over the top of your head, the other side, sorry, and then dropping it down. And then again, getting that tension first, so, and then pushing up. I really feel this one down the back and side of my neck and right deep, almost into my shoulder. Obviously, if there's any pain, then don't do it, but you should be able to intuitively stretch into this one. And it almost feels like the opposite of what you normally do. So normally, obviously, you just stretch your head over to one side and you hang it there and you put the weight down and you add the weight that way. But what we're trying to do here is just stretch in a slightly different manner. Oh my goodness, my shoulder. But it really, really gets into a slightly different part. Oh. And hopefully that's helping your shoulders a little bit. And so we will just come to do a starting off in child's pose, so coming down. We're not going to do anything too heavy because obviously we're preparing for sleep. But just coming down and really stretching out into your child's pose, so just allowing your arms to reach out, stretching out into your hips. Take a few rounds of breath here. And making your way slowly up onto all fours. And just stretching into your cat-cow, so just moving slowly. And again, you can start small and just rounding through the spine. And then pulling the belly down and stretching up and doing a few of these. And if you, as you do this, if you notice any parts of your body that feel the need to sort of be moved at the same time, like into your hips or anything, then by all means take the movement that you need. And then we're just going to move very gently into one downward facing dog, just to come into a bit of a stretch. So again, think about from this position, you're going to be curling up, so you're leading with your hips, you're trying to keep your back long and straight, not rounded. So just placing your hands firmly and then gently picking up your knees and tipping back into your hips, keeping your back long. And again, you don't have to straighten your legs if it's, then you should be aiming for a nice long back. And then when you feel like you've got your long back, straighten the legs, but you don't have to have your heels on the ground. It's just about the length of the back. Just take a few breaths. And then coming down, and as you come down, just bringing one leg through. And coming, so bringing your leg in front of you, coming down and stretching in pigeon pose. And you can stay up here if that's more comfortable for you. You can come down onto your elbows. You can use a yoga block, or you can come right down. So really nice one just for loosening off your hips. And then making your way slowly back up. Coming to all fours, maybe taking a few cat cows. Just going to move my mat back because I've realised that you can't necessarily see what I'm doing with my legs very clearly, which isn't very helpful. Okay, and then bringing your other leg through, stretching back, and again, just coming to rest on that. And if you want to, you can bring your head right down, resting on your hands. But always try and think about keeping your spine lengthened, so you don't want to be like hunched over like this. You want to be trying to have a nice long back. And then making your way slowly back up, bringing your leg back, and then scooting your legs round, coming down to lay on your back. Bring your knees up now. If you want to here, you can just take a very gentle bridge, just again to create some space in the spine. So just starting off by slightly tucking the chin. And when I say tucking, I don't mean double chin time. I mean sort of almost as if you can pull it back a little bit so that you're kind of straightening your spine. And then focusing on that beginning, that tipping of the pelvis, bringing your back up and just coming to wherever's comfortable for you. So just keeping that stretch. You can put your arms down. If you want to, you can bring them underneath you, then more of a bind. Just keep checking in with your knees, making sure they're not splaying out to the side. Make sure they're nice and engaged. And what you want to be thinking about here is sort of pushing your knees away and almost as if you're pulling your feet towards you just to engage those muscles. then if you've done the bind, take your hands away, bring your back slowly to the ground. And then now just taking your knees over to maybe the right side, taking your arms out and just feeling the twist in the back. And then coming up through the middle and taking to the other side. And if any of these, as we're doing them, you feel like you want to stay there longer, you can carry on in that position. You don't have to follow my timing. We're talking about connection to the body, so listen to what your body needs, and if there's any exercises you don't want to do, any stretches you don't want to do, don't do them. If there's ones you want to stay in a bit longer, then stay in them a bit longer. Do whatever you feel at the time. And then bringing your knees into the chest, give yourself a hug. You can bring your head up as well if you want to. And then taking your legs out, stretching out, and coming into your relaxation pose for Shavasana. And again here, if this laying flat on the floor, if you're on the floor, isn't comfortable, then now's a really good opportunity to get yourself, a blanket, a cushion, put something under your head, put something under your shoulders, whatever's comfortable for you. This is supposed to be a point of relaxation, and so therefore you need to get into a position that's comfortable for you and your perfect way of laying. It doesn't have to be about what the expectation is of anybody else, how you think it should be done. And so now, just after a short practice, just some short stretches, we're just going to take a few minutes just to now relax. So coming back to bring your attention back to the breath. Bringing your attention just back to noticing how the breath is flowing in and out. It might be different now to how it was before. And then if it feels right for you, maybe just taking a few of those deep breaths and then moving into that elongated exhale. Just for a couple of minutes, just nourishing yourself with your breath. And now we're just going to take our awareness around the body, starting at the crown of the head, moving down to the face, the forehead, the nose, the mouth, and the chin, the right cheek, right eye, right eyebrow, forehead, the left eyebrow, the left eye, the left cheek, and the chin. Moving down to the neck and the right hand side of the neck and the left hand side of the neck and the back of the neck, and coming back round to the front of the neck. And now moving to the left shoulder, the left arm, the left wrist, the left hand, the thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and the little finger, the whole of the left hand, the lower left arm, top of the left arm, the left shoulder, moving across through the chest to the right shoulder, the right arm, the right wrist, the right hand, the thumb, the index finger, the middle finger, ring finger, and the little finger. The right wrist, the lower right arm, the top of the right arm, the right shoulder, coming to the centre of the chest and just pausing for a moment in the centre of the chest. And then moving down through the right hand side of the ribs and the left hand side of the ribs, coming through the belly to the pelvis, and then the left hip, the top of the left leg, the knee, the bottom of the left leg, the left foot, the left big toe, second, third, fourth, and the little toe, coming back through the left foot, the bottom of the left leg, the left knee, the top of the left leg, and the left hip, and moving through to the right hip, the top of the right leg, the right knee, the bottom of the right leg, the right foot, the big toe, second, third, fourth, and the little toe, the right foot, the bottom of the right leg, the right knee, the top of the right leg, the right hip, coming back through the pelvis, the tummy, the rib cage, and coming to rest in the centre of the chest, in the heart centre. I'm just going to share a little poem with you as you just sit and rest in the heart centre, and it's called The Invitation by Oriah Mountain Dreamer. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dream, for the adventure of being alive. It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you have touched the centre of your own sorrow, if you have been opened by life's betrayals, or have become shriveled and closed from fear of further pain. I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or your own, without moving to hide it, or fade it, or fix it. I want to know if you can be with joy, mine or your own, if you can dance with wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers and toes without cautioning us to be careful, to be realistic, to remember the limitations of being human. It doesn't interest me if the story you are telling me is true. I want to know if you can disappoint another to be true to yourself, if you can bear the accusation of betrayal and not betray your own soul, if you can be faithless and therefore trustworthy. I want to know if you can see beauty even when it is not pretty every day, and if you can source your own life from its presence. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand at the edge of the lake and shout to the silver of the full moon, yes. It doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after the night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done to feed the children. It doesn't interest me who you know or how you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the centre of the fire with me and not shrink back. It doesn't interest me where or what or with whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself and if you truly like the company you keep in the empty moments. And so now, just beginning to become aware of coming back into the present time. So beginning to visualize the room around you and listen to the sounds in the room. Maybe deepening your breath, starting to take a few movements with your hands and your feet. Maybe tiny at first, and then maybe bringing a bit more movement to each of your limbs, turning your head, maybe taking your arms overhead and having a big stretch. And then whenever you're ready, just coming up to sitting. And just to say thank you for joining me today. I hope this helps you sleep, and I will see you all again very soon.